my channel. I was tagged by 2 people this week. I was tagged by Anna over at Anna's Journey to a Healthier Lifestyle, and also my buddy Robbie over at Frekifitwolf. I did a Halloween tag yesterday, and so I thought I'd do this tag today, even though it's a Tuesday tag. These tags are started by Tracy over at Trials of a Longhaired Girl. She does them every Tuesday, and she tags somebody. This week she tagged Robbie, and Robbie's tagging me. I'm going to leave a link to everybody's channel down below, and I want you to go over there and let them know that I sent you. I am going to tag, I think that Joan wasn't tagged, but Joan, if you were tagged already and you already did it, I've missed it. But I'm going to tag Joan's Pointed Plate. I'm going to tag Amy over at the TMI Queen Gets Fit. Valerie Reese, because Valerie loves doing tags, and I love watching her and do her answers. And I'm also going to try to get Carrie over at Weight Watchers with Carrie to do a tag. I did send her an email to let her know that I tagged her. I know that she's been missing from MIA, from, from filming and from YouTube in general. I know for the summer she was watching her grandkids. I'm trying to keep in touch with her, but I don't know. But hopefully she'll do the tag, kind of tiptoe back into the shallow end of the pool, as we say, and she'll start doing some tags again, or at least try videotaping a little bit, because Carrie, we miss you. If you're watching, we miss you. So these are the 10 random questions that Tracy came up with and that Robbie and Anna both tagged me with. The first one is, what do you do on your commute to and from work? Well, I am retired now, so my big commute to and from work is I go for my walk in the morning. So on my way to my work, I show you my sister Denise and Kylie, my niece, and then we go for our walk and we talk about our walk afterwards, and then I open up my vlog and do that. When I was working, I had about a half-hour drive. I was in a carpool with my girlfriend Randy, and we would take turns driving. So either we'd meet at the carpool lot, and we just listen to songs. We have our own song now, I Got You Babe by the Sonny and Cher. So whenever either one of us hear it on the radio, we always call the other person and play the song in the background. It's just something that we do. But for now, I'm retired. Loving every minute. Loving every minute of it. Number 2, what is your next vacation destination? Well, I'm hoping that my next vacation destination is going to be the vacation destination that I was supposed to go to this year. I was going to go on my month-long tour. I was going to go for a week up at the cottage that we rent up in Lexington, Michigan. I don't know that that's going to happen next year, because I've just noticed that she has the property for sale. So it depends on if somebody's going to continue renting it, or I might have to look for somewhere else. And then also we were going to go to Minnesota, to Redwood Falls. We were going to do a memorial service for my Uncle Bob, who passed away last year, or this year actually. And then we were going to go to Little House on the Prairie, and then we were going to go to South Dakota. We were going to go to Mount Rushmore, and we were going to go to Bunker Hill, and is it Bunker Hill, or Deadwood. And then we were going to work our way back into Minnesota and go up to Duluth and spend a week with my cousin Paul and Kathy and visit my nephew, or my cousin Michael. And so that's what I'm hoping to do next year. That's I'm hoping. Number 3, what was the last TV show you binge watched? Jim and I are binge watching right now Cobra Kai on Netflix. Is it on Netflix? Yeah, it's on Netflix. We're binge watching that. It's cheesy, but it's fun. It's just, there's a lot of references to the old movie of The Karate Kid. Oh, if you never saw it, The Karate Kid is the basis of the Cobra Kai. And they show flashbacks from the movie, and they work it in, and they have like little humor things with it. It's a fun thing to watch. I do like that. But I'll binge watch any documentary that comes along too, that's like more than one part. I love documentaries. What song will always get you out on the dance floor? The Hustle. I don't know how to hustle. I'm always one of these people that's like 2 steps behind everybody else. But I'm out there trying. I really am. Let me get rid of this. I got something on my screen. I try my best. I really do. I don't do well. But you know, like YMCA, I always get out there for that. I do not know how to dance. I do not know how to sing, but it never stops me because as soon as you stop, you sit in a chair, you get old. I don't want to get old. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. Do you sleep with a top sheet? Why or why not? Okay, Robbie didn't know what a top sheet is. To me, a top sheet is like you have your fitted sheet and then you have the sheet that's right on top of the fitted sheet. So that's what I consider a top sheet. But I only sleep with the top sheet. And then I'll start off the night with the top sheet, a blanket, and then the comforter. In the winter, not in the summer. In the summer, I just sleep with just a top sheet. But and then during the night, I'll work the comforter off, and then I'll work the blanket off, and then probably about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, I'll wake up sweating to death because Jim at this point has thrown the blanket and the comforter and his part of the comforter on top of me. And then I got to throw everything back on him. It's a little battle we play every night. What's your favorite thing about your current job? Well, my current job is YouTube, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I'm such a ham bone. This is just right up my alley. It's just something I love to do, and I don't consider it a job. I look forward to doing it, and sometimes if I'm not filming, I'm thinking, why didn't I film that? I should have filmed that. So it's like, but this is my current job, and this is what I love. How would your 10-year-old self react to what you do now? They would be very disappointed because when I was 10 years old, my dream in life was to be a cashier at a grocery store. That's such a silly dream. But when I was younger, my father got paid on Wednesdays, which was an odd day to get paid, but he got paid on Wednesdays. And then there was 6 of us kids, and so each week one of us would get a turn. We'd get to go with my mother, go grocery shopping, and we got to pick out the cereal for that week. Not that it was a big deal because we never could have a sugar-coated cereal. We got to choose between Cheerios, Rice Krispies, Wheaties, or some kind of Chex, like Corn Chex, Rice Chex, or something like that, or shredded wheat. But you looked forward to that every 6 weeks that it was your turn to go. It just really was your turn to go. And when I would go through the line and I'd see the cashiers and I'm thinking, oh, what a dream job. What a dream job. And so later in life when I became a cashier at a produce and grocery store, not so much. I didn't understand what the fascination was with it. I liked my job. I liked the people I worked with, but I thought this is what I was striving to be. But I also wanted to be a teacher. I always wanted to be a teacher to teach emotionally disturbed children. I really was. I was accepted to Eastern Michigan University, and then I was going to just go the first 2 years to a community college so I didn't have to pay as much to go. And then I just got my associate's degree at the community college, and then I just never continued on. So it's like one of my regrets in life that I didn't do that. What was your first job? My very first job was I was a waitress at a restaurant called Perini's, which was at the corner of our street. It was on Whittier in Detroit. And I had lied about my age and told them that I was 18, and I really was only 16. And there was a restaurant that served liquor, and I worked there for 2.5 hours before they finally figured out that I wasn't old enough, because I was supposed to show them my driver's license. I didn't have a driver's license at the time, so I told them I don't have a driver's license, and so they said, well, you need to go home and get your birth certificate because, you can't work any longer today until we know that you're 18, because the law says you have to be 18 to serve liquor. And so I said, well, I don't know that I have a birth certificate handy. And they go, are you 18? And I went, well, technically not yet. And they go, well, you mean technically not yet? And I go, well, in 2 years I'll be 18. They go, well, technically you're out the door. So 2.5 hours of work. So I always tease my family whenever we go to a restaurant. I go, I was a waitress at one point, because they called them waitresses back then. I was a waitress at one point. I could do this. And they go, yeah, you could. I know. And number 10, What do you remember most about your first job, which I probably already just told you, is that I wasn't old enough to have it. I really wasn't. I could tell you what I remember most about my third job. My second job was I was working at J.L. Hudson's during Christmas as a cashier, yet again, in the men's department. But my job that I had for the longest time before I was married was I got the job just after I was 18, working at a little produce market called Pola's Market, Pollas, on Kelly and Harper Woods. And it was like the people my age, the older women, worked the 8 to 12 to 8 to 1 shift in the morning. And then the rest of us mostly came from college. And we would come in, we'd work the 1 to 9 shift. And I absolutely loved it. We had so much fun. Our boss was probably in his late 30s, early 40s. And so he was like still kind of young to like an 18-year-old. And we just had so much fun at work. He just made it so enjoyable that you didn't really feel like you were working. It was just, and then we would have little contests because we would, you know, like, you're young, you're idiots. You just really are. But we would have bags underneath our register, and at the end of the night we'd see who could collect the most illegal fruit. Because like people would come through and they'd say, well, I have 12.5 oranges, and then you'd count them and they had like 23, you know. And so you'd say, oh, you got 5 too many. Oh, how did that get by me, or something. Or like when you were weighing something and you'd keep your finger on the scale, and then they'd look at you and they go, well, you need to take your finger off the scale. And we'd say, well, we're just making up for all the cherries you ate while you were in line. You know, things like that. But I made some really good friends there. And I worked there up until 3 days before I delivered my first child, which was Jimmy. I started there in July of '68, and I worked there up until October of '72. So I loved it. I really loved it. But anyway, those are my 10 questions. Looking forward to seeing how everybody else answers them. So once again, I'm tagging Joan's Pointed Plate, the TMI Queen Gets Fit, Valerie Reese, and Carrie, please do it. Weight Watchers with Carrie. And I'm going to leave links to the channels down below. Anna's Journey to a Healthier Life, and Robbie over at Frekifitwolf, and also Tracy over at Trials of a Longhaired Girl. So if you want to answer the questions, answer them down below. I'd love to see your answers. If you have your own channel, and let me know that you've done the video, and I'll share your link. So if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit that like button, and share it if you think somebody may like to see it.